What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back. In today's video we're checking out a brand new dash camera from Thinkware. The one that I have here today is called the Q1000. This is a dual channel dash camera. That means that you have one camera that records in front of the car, so the main unit, and then another camera that records behind the car, so the second camera. The maximum recording resolution for this camera is 2560 by 1440, so basically Quad HD on the front and Quad HD on the back. Now, I've said this many times, it is super important to have a dash camera in your vehicle because you never know what's gonna happen on the road. Personally, I've been using a dash camera in all my cars over the past 10 years, maybe more than that. And just to give you an example, this happened about half an hour after I got to install this particular dash camera in my car. So it's always good to have something recording what happens on the road because you never know what's gonna happen on the road. Okay, so I got this particular dash camera from my friends at Black Box My Car. They are a Canadian company that sell a variety of dash cameras. So if you're looking for anything dash camera related, definitely check out their website. Now, they've also sent me another camera about a year ago, and I've actually done a video for the other camera about a year ago, and I've been using that particular dash camera every single day over the past year, and I'll actually leave a link to that video that I made in the top right corner or the video's description if you wanna check it out. But just as a quick update for that older dash camera that I got to try, it still works fine even today after a year in this heat that I live here. So whenever the car sits outside, that dash camera also sits in direct sunlight and no problems whatsoever. Alright, so going back to our Q1000, let's start a bit of an unboxing just so I can show you what comes in the box with it. Alright, so in the box, of course, we have the main unit. This basically gets installed on your windshield, and this is the camera that films in front of the vehicle. And then we have the second camera that gets installed on the rear window, and this one records behind the vehicle. There is also a sticker or a mount that you basically mount on the windshield, and then you attach the camera to this. You can also take the camera out, so if you need to change something with the camera, you need to take it out for any reason, this stays on the windshield and you can just remove the camera. There is also a heat blocking film in the box. Personally, I haven't used this. We have a replacement stickers, so if you need to change cars, for example, you're gonna have to remove this from the old car and maybe install this one for the new vehicle. And then we have a couple of stickers so you can actually hide the cables throughout your car. Now, I do have another dash camera installed in my car, as I said earlier, so I didn't do a full installation on this dash camera. I only installed it in my car for a short period of time so I can test it out. But basically, whenever you install this in your car, you have to hide all those cables throughout your car. And I think that's the part that takes the most whenever installing a dash camera, because you do have to hide a lot of those cables because otherwise it just doesn't look that great. But as I said, I did have a different dash camera in the car, and I could actually use the power cable from my other camera and the cable that goes to the rear camera. So of course you do get that cable here as well, and you're also gonna get a power cable. So you can use this power cable. This gets plugged in the cigarette lighter port in your vehicle. So every time you turn off the car, basically the camera turns off, but you also get this cable. So you'd use this cable if you want to hardwire the camera to your car's battery. And if you do that, you actually get to access the parking features for this camera. If you don't use it with this cable, so you use it with the regular cable, which is the easier way of installing a dash camera, you're not gonna have access to the parking features for this particular dash camera. In the box, there is also a safety information guide, and if you want to check out the user manual, you're going to have to scan this QR code here, and that will take you to the manufacturer's website where you can actually see the full user manual. Aside from that, my camera came with a 32 gig SD card, but the camera can actually take SD cards up to 256 gigs. Now, if you're wondering how much space the recordings take on the SD card, well, the front camera takes about 88 megabytes for 1 minute of recording, and the same goes for the rear camera. So 88 on the front and 88 on the back, so 176 megabytes for 1 minute of recording. So now you can do the math depending on how large the SD card that you are using is. The camera itself is mostly made out of plastic. We also have a pretty slim profile, so whenever you have it installed on your windshield, it's not gonna bother you. The only thing that's not made out of plastic is the glass that covers the lens here. That's important because if that would be covered by plastic, that would become yellow, but that's not gonna be the case for this camera. And of course, the lens can also be adjusted up or down depending on your windshield, of course. This camera also has a built-in GPS unit, so it will keep track of your location and your speed, and we also have Bluetooth connectivity and Wi-Fi connectivity. So the camera is using the Wi-Fi connectivity. It basically makes a Wi-Fi network and you connect to that Wi-Fi network with your smartphone, and that's how you interact with the camera through your smartphone. There are also some buttons on the top side here. So for example, if you want to do like an emergency recording, we have a button for that. If you want to stop the microphone recordings, there is a button for that. So you can also interact with the camera from those buttons if you need to do something quick. Otherwise, you're going to have to take out your phone and actually connect to the camera with your smartphone. Moving on to the rear camera, well, the rear camera is smaller. Obviously, this one is the one that gets installed on the rear windshield there. And on the side here, we have a micro USB port. As I said, you do have this massive cable. It's a pretty long cable. I guess you can even use this if you have like a longer minivan. And this can also be adjusted up or down depending on the position of that rear window that you have. All right, so next I want to show you some sample recordings that I've done with this camera and of course the rear camera during the day. All the recordings that you're about to see were done at the maximum recording resolution available for this camera, which is Quad HD. So I'll let you guys watch those sample recordings that I've done during the day and I'll be right back. Alright, so as you've seen for yourself, you can clearly see the license plates for the cars around you, but it really depends how far those cars are from you, how the light hits those license plates and so on. But overall, pretty good footage, daytime footage recorded in that Quad HD resolution. Next, we're gonna move on and check out some sample recordings that I got at night with the front and of course the rear camera. So let's check those out and I will be right back. Alright, so as you expected, the nighttime recordings aren't gonna be as good as the daytime recording. That's pretty much the norm for all dash cameras, all action cameras, all phones, and so on. And you're gonna be able to see those license plates depending on the situation. Some license plates are easier to be seen depending how certain headlights hit them. Some are not that easy to be seen, but that's kind of normal for dash cameras in general and pretty much all cameras in general. Like many modern dash cameras, of course, this one has a variety of safety features. So first of all, if something happens on the road, so let's say that you have to brake suddenly or your car gets hit from behind or you hit something, well, basically the camera will sense that and it will do like an emergency recording. Those emergency recordings basically cannot be overwritten by future recordings. So that particular footage will be safe. The camera also has ADAS, which is Advanced Driver Assistance System, and basically most newer cars do have a system like that in place already. So basically the camera will let you know if you're not in between the lines, if you cross the lines, if the car in front of you starts moving, and so on. Personally, I have that system in my car already, so the car already tells me if I go over the line, if the car in front of me starts moving, and so on. But if your car doesn't have that feature, you can enable that on this dash camera as well. Alright, so anything that you want to change from this dash camera, you're gonna have to do through the app. So the app is available for iPhones and Android phones, of course, in the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. After you install the app on your phone, you basically pair the camera to your phone, and then every time you want to connect the camera, you basically just open the application. It takes about 30-45 seconds to connect to the dash camera. Once connected, you can see what the front camera sees, you can see what the rear camera sees. Of course, you're gonna have to do that so you can actually adjust the image so it's up or down, or depending on the card that you have, of course. And from there, you can also access all the settings for the camera. If you want to check out any footage that you've recorded with the dash camera, you can do that from your smartphone. So you can actually download those recordings right on your smartphone, and then you can have them on your smartphone, you can share them and so on. Or you can just watch them straight from the camera if you don't want to download them. And there is also a player available for PC or Mac. But I find that having the app on your phone is the easiest because the phone is always in your pocket and you can just download that footage and share it to whoever you need to do so. So there you have it. This is the Thinkware Q1000. If you want to check it out, of course, there will be a link in the video's description. Alright guys, hopefully this video was useful. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.